Howdy. I have been mentioning some time ago that I possibly would get the possibility to make a presentation about my paper at the University of Eastern Finland. The paper in question is this one: Plate Tectonic Issues, the Influence of Electricity in Rock-Forming Processes, and the Coherent Connection between Science, Mythology and History of Finland. Sea Pinch Stone and a Dragon Cup. That's mostly written with a cell phone and to some degree also done, like the pictures and stuff. There is text, there is photographs, there is pictures. Volcanic activity in Finland, geothermal activity in Finland, craters in Finland. We have the plasma rock site featured several times in this article. That's from the plasma rock site, Kuhasalo. These are all pictures from the plasma rock site. Those are in the article or paper. We have razorbacks, we have molten metal, magnetic anomalies. You have seen this map several times. Aeromagnetic maps, metal abundance in bedrock, Finnish Geological Survey. The question about petrified wood. I got the results from the Geological Survey just after this article. They knew about that I was writing a paper. We are again at rock carvings, like we have been recently. I claim this might be Venus. No one else has any idea what it could be, but my guess it's Venus. The archetype, serpent of creation or serpent of destruction. In many or in all cultures, Venus has two faces. It's very beautiful or it's very ugly, very destructive. Finnish history and mythology. I will put a link below to this. You can read it on your own pace. I just wanted to show the whole paper. I claim that the Finnish lion in the flag, which no one knows what it is, I claim it's originally, or it's derived from dragons, from a dragon. Seal of Duke Valdemar, 13th century. I don't know. Looks like a really very sick lion. Maybe you should see a doctor. And this picture, the one on the right, here says Habsburg. I was trying to do something with my phone and it didn't work, but this came out of it. And somehow I thought they fit very nice together. What a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. That's what the paper is about. We are talking a little bit about Kalevala and dragons. Plasma rock site is situated in North Karelia. Zeus with the thunderbolt. And also Ukko with a thunderbolt. The heavenly pillar. Anthony Perret. Anthony Perret again. Then we are talking quickly about even pyramids. No pyramids in Finland. We are talking about petroglyphs, Anthony Perret, 2003, Antila Helma, A Touch of Red, 2008, 5 years later. No comparison happened, for whatever reason. Akademia Helsinki, special branch of the University of Helsinki. Anthony Perret, once again, petroglyphs, the owl face mask. A totally random cookie jar. And once again, Anthony Perret, thunderbolts, Birkeland currents, magnetic fields. Birkeland currents seen from inside. The archetypes, the wheel of heaven. More Anthony Perret. Thunderbolts Project, Dave Talbot. Walt Thornhill. And the reference list. There's some 100 links. Most of them, many of them, are Wikipedia links. Let's take just those. Yle. Let's start at the bottom. Yle, Finnish national TV. Then we have Wikipedia, 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 Wikipedia. I did this for a reason. I wanted to show everyone most of the knowledge you can find on Wikipedia. And then we have Plasma Universe, Anthony Perret's page. And just above it, EPOS, the page with the surface conductivity anomaly, which doesn't work anymore, and above it, the Kursk magnetic anomaly. So, I was trying, or I still try, you can be sure for that. I tried to get a possibility to make a presentation about this paper at the University of Eastern Finland. And there has been a long conversation going on. And now it seems I got a final answer to that, and I wanted to share it with you. I won't share the name of the person. No. But for me, he represents the university because he was the one I was talking to, and he was working there, and also so on. And I have to give a big shout out that he talked. He took time to somehow dive into it. To what degree ever, I don't know. How much time he spent actually to that. But now it seems there is no possibility to make a presentation at the University of Eastern Finland. So let me show you what the answer is. So that's the answer. UEF.fi, University Eastern Finland. So, bye. I have now read your article once more and gone through the messages you sent. Yeah, there has been many. I could have sent so many more. You have done a hard work or hard job. Hats off to you. I have also read one thing and another related to Velikovsky and his theories. I checked out such books as The Pseudosciences War, Immanuel Velikovsky and the Birth of the Modern Fringe, and Science and Pseudoscience, a conversation with Mikhail Gordin. So this implicates to me he didn't read Velikovsky, he just read about it. This is what I think. I might be wrong. In addition to the previous one, I got to know the discussion about the EU theories, electric universe. Really fascinating in itself, but also very time consuming. Yes, but it's worth it. I am now more convinced than before that I remain a supporter of scientific views. I have to admit I have no idea what he means by that. Or does he mean that my paper is pseudoscience? I don't know. I don't think so. It's peer reviewed. It has many things in it. Of course, it could have been much longer, but my crappy laptop doesn't challenge bigger things than that. So, even like also the next paper, which is hopefully coming out or like gets released or however you want to call it, sooner or later, like this next few weeks, I guess. It is about the same size because my laptop just doesn't cope with more. So it's a pain in the ass to work with this crappy computer. But anyway, I got it done. Let's go back to the answer. Let's read this again. I'm now more convinced than before that I remain a supporter of scientific views. After all, they change as new information accumulates, and when the new one is considered to be more functional than the previous one in terms of methods, material, and conclusions, then the old one is forgotten. Just a small reminder, no one knows where the Finnish lion came from, what it is, or what it does represent. They just don't know. I wrote a paper where I explain it in several ways. So, after all, they change as new information accumulates. I brought new information. And when the new one is considered to be more functional, yes, because there are several answers, than the previous one in terms of methods, material, and conclusions, then the old one is forgotten. So in this case, the old one is the one that we don't know. Now you know at least more, because I wrote it down in my paper. But obviously, this isn't recognized at all, since it's dismissed as pseudoscience. As I said some time ago, if Velikovsky's and the EU theories are to displace science, then that will inevitably happen sooner or later. If not, then no. It's not about conspiracies, it's about what works best. Lainaan tässä means quoting. Google Earth didn't cut that. Google Earth. Google Translate. Google Translator used. Quoting Michael Shermer and Thornhill and Talbot. The conversation they had. Keskustelu on conversation. Shermer. Can you generate spacecraft flight paths that are more accurate than those based on gravitational theory? No, Thornhill, replied. GPS satellites in orbit around Earth are also dependent on relativity theory. So I asked the conference host, David Talbot, if the electric universe theory offers anything like the practical applications that theoretical physics has given us. No. So, now let's continue with that. That is at the point when the electric universe, etc., theories give more benefit and real-world relevance than the currently used theories of physics, mathematics, etc. They will surely also displace them. For me, these theories have no personal meaning. Of course, I enjoy the end results, i.e., all the practical applications that natural science research has produced over time, like most people. But it doesn't matter what I can spend my time and energy on. It just so happened that I just started a new job related to researching and teaching urban development, and it is such a comprehensive job that it requires 100% concentration that there is no way I have enough time and resources to anything but that. Don't have any time for anything else. Shifting attention to the natural science would be very tedious when you are not an expert. So, he's a historian. There is no history without nature. There is no human without nature, because human is a part of nature. All cities, all settlements, like back in the old days, every house almost, like bigger houses, not just random small houses, like how to put it. The bosses' houses, bigger houses. There was for sure water inside them, especially in places like the Alps. Many churches have been built on water places, which is part of history, which is part of culture, because it is life essential to have water, for example. And many places are also built on special geological currencies, like gold or whatsoever. So there we have the connection between history and nature and natural sciences. How did the gold come there? Why is there water? That's why we have a town here, but why? Okay, natural sciences. Getting to know and familiarizing yourself with the topics of your posts and articles, and thus spreading your time and energy, threatens to become very stressful. I don't need more of that. Oh, it could be much more delightful, I promise. In addition, I feel that I no longer have much to add to what I have already said in our previous conversations over the past couple of years. Electric universe, plasma, ECC theories are simply not my passion, but completely different things. I'm betting on them. This is actually complete sincere advice. I still urge you to get involved in the activities of scientific societies, e.g. the local Seolaset Association, which is part of Finnish planetary observations and star watching, these kind of things. I wrote to them like an hour ago or something. Yes, I did it. I didn't yet send them my paper. I just asked if it's possible if I could make a presentation about an internationally peer-reviewed paper, which includes, besides many other things, also planetary science. Let's see how they react. Do they react at all? Do I get a possibility? Let's see. But people don't like having some stranger come to their door and tell you that everything you know about something is wrong and that person has something much better to replace it. Yes, I know how it feels. It happened to me. I know. This is why you shouldn't go anywhere with that attitude either. Rome was not built in a day, but in centuries. In the same way, if you really want to discuss things and get your thoughts heard, you have to do it little by little, one thing at a time, one conversation at a time. Otherwise, there will be a backlash, the stronger, the sharper what you say. One thing at a time, one conversation at a time. Yes, I didn't have any conversation about this yet. This is why I tried to get to the university to talk about this with someone, but it's not possible. So don't blame me about this. One thing at a time, one conversation at a time. Yeah, it would be very cool to have at least the first conversation. That's the whole point. You have to understand that the people you talk to assume they know at least as much about the subject as you do. And in their thinking, Velikovsky, the electric universe theory, etc., are pseudoscience that was abandoned long ago. Totally wrong. Totally wrong. In a few hours, hopefully coming the next Thunderbolts video out. So it's not that Elon Musk's satellites crashed down because there was too much electricity. In other words, your first pickup on some good and generally discussion-provoking detail, and that way the discussion can be moved forward, one topic at a time in the direction you want. And if you want to be listened to, you must listen to others. And if your point of view doesn't get support, it's not the point about you, but about that. So, do you think I don't know anything about glaciers, like in the conventional theory term, for example? Or lightning, or weather, or whatever other stuff? Yeah, I have been in the Alps many times. I have been there, like, in thunderstorms in a tent for many hours, trying to keep the tent to the ground and thinking that, yeah, if I don't manage, like, I will fly off. I know how it feels to be in a thunderstorm in the Alps, in a tent. I know. And I back then knew how they work because I was reading about this, because I was in this stuff, like nature, interested all my life. So I have been listening to others. At the same time, you can continue writing your articles and working on your YouTube channel. From there, the thing will spread if there is an order for it. I used to have to study and work for about 8 years before I could say anything important anywhere. That's a fair chance. Good luck to you. 8 years. It's a little bit less than 2 years since I found the Electric Universe, Dave Talbot, Walt Thornhill, Anthony Perrat, F. Cochrane, Andrew Hall, and Donald Scott, and Michael Claridge, and all those. Velikovsky, Alfvén, Birkeland, Tesla, like reintroducing myself into the world of Tesla. And this was the answer of a university teacher, Department of History and Geography, University of Eastern Finland. So let me show you one little thing in my paper about science. And this is from my paper. That's at the very beginning. Take a geological map of Finland and you will briefly discover that there are 4 main tectonic domains in Finland, Kolodomain, Karelian. When you look even closer, you will notice that it is basically a huge mess with intrusions, veins, bow-shaped forms, and all kinds of things in and underground. In 2019, a geological paper was published with the title Paleoproterozoic Metamorphism in the Northern Fenno-Scandinavian Shield are age constraints revealed by monazite. Like the title is already revealing, something doesn't quite match up in Finnish tectonics. The conclusions section contains also interesting statements. For example, low pressure, high temperature metamorphism and almost total lack of medium PT rocks in the Svekofenio province refers rather to accretionary than collisional processes, and therefore the tectonic evolution of the Svekofenian orogen from the metamorphic point of view remains still largely an open question. constraints, they start off with a constraint, which means something doesn't match up. And this is what they come up with a still largely open question. So how much do they know about it? Obviously not too much. They didn't learn anything. This is something I wanted to show you about, like, scientific papers, like, which are really real scientific papers. Starting up with a constraint and ending up with a largely remained as a large open question. And I wanted to make a presentation about this at the university, or like maybe I have to go somewhere else. I try now another place. I will try again once at the university. Maybe there's some people there with an open mind and have the ability and heart and motivation to listen. Listen first before you dismiss anything. Yeah, the answer from University of Eastern Finland. No presentation coming, at least this far. Thanks. Bye.